Hey everyone, welcome to this video. I'm Daniel Rondberg. I want to share with you how you can take $600 and turn it into $1 million. And it doesn't require anything that difficult. The hard part about it is it requires consistency, discipline, and patience, which people watching this may say, well, those are the hardest things in the world to have. But it's nothing miraculous, right? Compound interest is absolutely miraculous. I don't know if any of you have heard that story of if you take a penny and you double it every day of the month, what do you have at the end of 30 days? We end up having over $1 million, and people go, no, that can't be right. And then they try to figure it out, and they do it manually in their mind. They go,
oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That's the power of compound interest. It will double and have that compounding effect. So if you can get compound interest to work for you, it can be one of the greatest tools to help you prepare for retirement. Just because you have money that you need right now, you may not need all of your money right now. And if you can segment that into a longer time horizon, that'll give it more time to compound. Again, this is not a video on investing or investments. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not sharing any type of financial advice. If you just look at the S&P 500 and what it's returned over the last 100 years, it's close to 10%. So what I did was I said, okay, what if we took $600 today and we had it earn 8.9%? And all you did was add $600 to it a month. Okay, so you're starting with a deposit of $600. You're adding $600 a month and it's earning 8.9%. What happens in 30 years? The answer is it becomes $1,084,404.42, which is absolutely incredible. That's the magic of compound interest. So you don't have to start a business. You don't have to win the lottery. You can literally just put $600 a month away in the S&P 500, and history will tell you that if you keep doing that for 30 years, you'll have over $1 million in that account. That works when you're saving and accumulating. When you're retiring, it's different because you interrupt the compound interest. See, the magic of compound interest is that it stays uninterrupted and has the ability to compound. If you're taking withdrawals, then it can't compound. You're never getting those interest credits and returns on top of that money that's growing and on top of that interest. It works for the buy and hold phase of planning for your retirement. Now, if you're in the decumulation phase, it can still be important by time segmenting. And let's say you have $1 million. You take $400,000 of that and live on for the next 20 years. Well, that other $600,000 now has 20 years to grow. It's like you've created a new time horizon for it instead of using the entire $1 million to support your lifestyle today. That's called time segmenting, entering the ability for compound interest to accumulate. Here's where it gets a little convoluted. What do you choose for it to compound in? There's a lot of things. You could just have the S&P 500 do your compounding for you. You could have real estate do your compounding for you. You could have cryptocurrency do your compounding for you. There's volatility in these things, and it's not going to earn 8.9% every year, but over 30 years, it should be able to have a good compound return based on history. Sometimes it's important to have the discussion about taxation, because if you're going to take $600 and grow it to $1 million, do you want to pay tax on the $600 as you go, or do you want to pay tax on the $1 million at the end? Enters into the discussion of the proper retirement account to hold your funds in. And really there's three options. You could do pre-tax. This is going to be your 401k, your IRA, this is going to be your 403b, your 457, some type of deferred tax. So what that means is when you put the $600 in, you're going to get to take a tax deduction today. You're going to let that money grow tax deferred, and then you'll pay tax on what it becomes at the end. That's the tax me later, tax the million. If you want to pay tax as you go, you could do two options. You could do Roth IRA or life insurance. So you could pay your tax, not get the deduction, let it grow tax deferred, and then have the ability to potentially take it out tax-free. Or you could just put it in a non-qualified account, which is also after tax, but it's not going to be tax-free. It'll also be tax-deferred depending on what you choose to put it in, and then you'll pay tax on the gains after the fact. So there's really three choices you can pick, and it just depends on what's going to be the best for you. I personally like the tax-free choices because I'd rather pay tax on $600 as I go than $1 million at the end, because that's the magic of compound interest. And that's what's cool about this. Like, compound interest is so powerful that you literally only need to save $7,200 a year to be able to have $1 million retirement. And that's the magic of starting early, and that's magic compounding. So if you have the ability to share this video with somebody who's just starting out, it gets me so excited thinking I could be talking to 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds who have so much time to prepare. And it doesn't require that much of a commitment. It just requires some dedication. It doesn't mean you have to devote your life to it. You can spend very little time putting $600 a month away into something like the S&P 500. It doesn't take much effort or skill to set up an account, put money in, and just let it sit there. You just have to be able to do it consistently. See, it's consistency, discipline, and patience. It's really hard for people. That's why dieting is such a problem. That's why a lot of the habits that we want to form are problems, because of those three things. But just like finances and your money in the future, it's so important to be able to have those three things working for you, because that's when compound interest can be uninterrupted and work its magic in your life. Now, one of the reasons why I'm a big proponent of cash value life insurance is because cash value life insurance allows you to store money into something that will continuously compound forever but allow you to have utilization of that asset so you can protect the compound interest from being interrupted. That's really important, because if you're saving for something and you go, oh shoot, I need a car, or oh shoot, I have a debt, or oh shoot, I went to the hospital, then you got to pull money out, it doesn't work. This whole system of deferring money and getting the compound growth, it won't work. That's why life insurance can be a really key asset class to save some money in. You know, you want to buy it for the death benefit, but because you're storing cash value in the policy, accumulate that tax-free compounding uninterrupted, it gives you that ability to loan money out to yourself to be able to use for other things. Now, you could double compound that. You could put that in something else that'll compound. And that could be really advantageous as well. And I do that. It could be potentially a strong way to go if you're really looking to maximize. But the other thing is, it could just be a safety net in case you want to make sure that you're going to be able to continuously have that compounding, but be able to have things that you can utilize in the meantime. So again, it's all about choosing the right type of vehicle that matches your needs and your risk capacity. It's all about getting a clear picture on the end of where you want to end up, and then working backwards. You can go on Google and find a compound interest calculator that's simple, and you can put in whatever numbers you want. You could put in $500 a month at a 7%. You could put in $1,000 a month at 10%. And that's how you're going to be able to figure out what you're going to be able to kind of get close to. Now, in the real world, does that work? No, it's very uncommon that you could just sit there with a calculator and go, okay, I want this, I'm going to do this, and this can happen, because otherwise everybody would do it. It takes responsibility and accountability over those three things in your life: having patience, having discipline, and having consistency. And if you can have those three things and just kind of forget about it, then you can have the ability to make that happen. But it does require practice, just like anything. You have to build the habit of doing it every day or consistently. I don't think it's like practical in real life that everybody's gonna do it. It's just like, why doesn't everybody have a budget? And I sit down with people all the time and I say, what's your monthly expenses? That's a common question I think should be known. Otherwise, how do you live and budget and make sure you have enough money? But most people don't know. And so most people aren't gonna take the time to say, okay, how much do I wanna have at the end? Or how much am I gonna need to live my ordinary lifestyle? And how much income can I get from that? And then let's work backwards to build it out. But once you do that, then you can get a little more advanced and go, okay, well now let's think about how I feel about how I wanna be taxed. Do I think taxes are gonna go up? Maybe I should pay my taxes right now. Or do I think that I'm going to have a lower tax bracket in retirement? Maybe I should defer my taxes. Or a combination of the two would be really powerful as well to evaluate. And then you want to look at, well, what am I going to put the money in? Am I going to utilize things like the S&P 500? Or am I going to utilize things like life insurance? Am I going to utilize a combination of both? Am I going to try some cryptocurrency? Like, you need to figure out what's in alignment with your risk capacity and what will help you stay consistent behaviorally. If you're seeing too much ebbs and flows and it's making you sick and you don't like that, and you know you're going to pull it and just shelve everything and stop, well, then you're probably in the wrong risk capacity if you're uncomfortable with that level of risk. But that's what gets fun about it. It's kind of like a game. You get to play and figure out, hey, how am I going to get there? So if you like this topic on how to create more income, how to preserve and protect your wealth, how to create, click the link below, subscribe to the channel, share this with somebody who you think is beneficial for. Please leave comments. I want to engage. I want to talk. I want to hear what your thoughts are. I want to hear how I can improve videos, how I can provide better content for you or answer questions. I'm here for you. I'm excited to connect with the community out there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.